Let's talk about attributable risk. So before talking about attributable risk, let's understand what is relative risk. Relative risk is ratio of incidence in exposed and incidence in unexposed population, right? And attributable risk is not the ratio, but it is the difference, like incidence in exposed to incidence in unexposed. So this is the difference, right? And you also might have heard about population attributable risk. Population attributable risk. This is incidence in total population minus incidence in unexposed. Do you know what is the formula of relative risk reduction? This is relative risk in your treatment arm to relative risk in control arm divided by relative risk in control arm. So the reference is the control, that's why in the denominator we keep the relative risk in control. And what is the formula of attributable risk percentage? It is incidence in exposed minus incidence in unexposed divided by incidence in exposed. So in the denominator you can see here exposure is in the denominator. So let's say attributable risk percentage is 70%. Let's say smoking, smoking cause lung cancer. So let's take this example, and you calculated attributable risk percentage of this smoking to be 70%. So what does it mean? It means that if you eliminate smoking, there is 70% reduction in lung cancer. So 70% of the lung cancer is attributed to smoking, right? Now let's understand what is population attributable risk percentage. So the formula is incidence in total population minus incidence in unexposed divided by incidence in total population. So this is the total population. So let's suppose population attributable risk percentage is 80%, let's say. I am still talking about smoking and lung cancer. So what do you understand by 80% here? So it means that if you eliminate smoking, 80% of the lung cancer in the total population will be eliminated, right? If population attributable risk percentage is 90%, if you remove smoking from the community, from the population, 90% of the lung cancer will be reduced in the community. That is the meaning of population attributable risk percentage. So the thing is that the difference between attributable risk percentage and population attributable risk percentage is that the denominator is here exposed, incidence in exposed, but here incidence is total population. So this talks about total population, but this talks only about exposure. That's why here is exposure, here is the total population.